Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video we're going to be talking about Aurora, but before I talk about Aurora, I just want to tell you guys that I'm probably going to go back to work for 3 months. I'm going to be opening up my availability anytime for 3 months, work for 3 months. So I'll be working like at least 20 hours a week. Maybe a little less, maybe 24 or 20, I'm not sure. It depends on how much Superstore gives me. But I'm thinking that I should go back into the basics and I should work and I should, stop watching the stock market so much and, be more active, get more exercise and not lose my ability to work because, if you don't work for a long time and then if you're forced to work, it's very hard. Like, let's say if I, mess up and Man goes bankrupt and I lose all my money, I need to be able to have the ability to go back to work, live a regular life. But I want to get super rich. That's why I'm betting big on Man and betting big in the stock market because I want to get rich. That's basically my end goal in life, is to become super rich. And if I lose it in the process, then that's life. But I don't plan to, I don't want to, and if it happens, it happens. But if I don't take plunges and gambles, and it'll be harder for me to get rich. I want to get rich, and I want to get rich as fast as I can because I think wealth can make you, like a lot of wealth can really change your life. So I mean, like, let's say if I had like $10 million, then I could live in the States. I could live anywhere I want in the world and never have to worry about money. But $2 million is not enough. But 10, yes. 20, definitely. So that, I think lots of money really changes your life. And but what happens if I go broke in the process? I don't want that to happen. And I need to get back into the habit of kind of working, and it's good exercise, good money, and I get my benefits back, and I'm just gonna do it. That's my decision. But anyways, let's talk about Aurora. Why I believe Aurora could be the #1 company and beat Canopy, because I think Aurora can beat Canopy. Let's say we took away Canopy's $5 billion. I think Aurora should be the #1 company if we take away Canopy's $5 billion. Just my opinion. Because, Canopy doesn't really give a good gross margin. Aurora gives a great gross margin. Aurora may have lost a lot of money, but in the future, they expect to be profitable. Bruce Linton's not even talking about profitable. He's talking about growth. He's talking about how Amazon wasn't profitable for a long time. So he's expecting not to be profitable. But that's okay because they have $4.5 billion. So they don't really need to go profitable. Investors are betting that they will be a good company purely based on the sheer amount of money they have access to. But Aurora is more efficient. They use their capital right, at least in my opinion. Let's just take like Apple and Microsoft for example, right? Apple, one time in point in life, Apple used to be a 38 cents. This was back in 1985. And then they used to be $1.62 in 1988. Wow, so this is before the split, but if you bought back then, you would have made so much money. But that's not the point. I'm just saying that Apple almost went bankrupt, and then they brought Steve Jobs back to the company, and Steve Jobs changed the company and made it the #1 company in the world because Steve Jobs is awesome. And he's basically awesome. That's the reason why. And Microsoft had a lot of billions of dollars, and they had a lot of you know, they were a very safe company. They had billions of dollars, but you know, Apple still managed to grind their way up and become the #1 company in the world because of Steve Jobs. I'm not calling Aurora Steve Jobs. I'm not calling Aurora, like, I'm not talking about like somebody in Aurora is a Steve Jobs. I'm saying the whole company, all the management combined, is kind of like a Steve Jobs. So yes, Canopy may have billions of dollars, but Aurora is still growing very fast, very massively, and you know, Aurora is a kind of a awesome company. I think you know, they did the impossible. They made the impossible. They made a lot of people rich. Yeah. I think the reason why Aurora has such a big fan base is because, you know, when Aurora was $2, a lot of people bought in, and Aurora made a lot of people really rich. That's why I think Aurora has such a big fan base, because when a company makes you rich, you tend to be grateful for them for life, like, period. So that's what I think happened, but I could be wrong. But I honestly think that Aurora made a lot of people rich. That's why they like the company so much. You know, I'm surprised that Aurora has such a big fan base compared to Canopy, when Canopy has the billions and they have like, you know, Constellation brands, and yeah. So I just, you know, it's shocking to me that Aurora. I think Aurora made a lot of people rich. It made me rich. But I don't know, like, I think it made a lot of people rich, because I heard stories of people who put money into Aurora and, you know, they came out with $1 million. So, like almost $1 million or something. So, this German news. Oh, German selects Aurora cannabis for domestic production license. You know, this should have really skyrocketed Aurora stock. If Aurora stock was around $6 or $7, this kind of news would have pushed the stock up 20%. But because Aurora is already like $9.17, and the fact that the entire cannabis market, the entire Canadian cannabis market, looks like it's about to crash, it makes people worry. So then people are not, you know, rich people are not putting their money back into Aurora. But, you know, whatever. I mean, if you put into Aurora right now, you know, like, it could go up to like 10, 15, or it could skyrocket for some reason. But it may not too. So it could. Look, I say the reward is less likely than the risk, because let's be honest, this deal, like this piece of news, there is no news that is going to be bigger than this piece of news in a long time. This is a huge news. Basically, Germany gave Aurora the entire country, and they gave constellation prizes to Wayland and Africa, and Aurora gets, you know, like, the crown, the entire country. That's huge. That is huge. Yeah, it's 1,000 kilograms, but you know, it's a minimum of 1,000 kilograms. So if, you know, the government can come in and say, oh, you can grow, you can build more facilities. They're giving Aurora the entire country. It's crazy in my opinion. So Aurora has a production in Germany, and there's only 2 other competitors, and they have way less of a production agreement than Aurora. So I mean, should have, like, if Aurora was like freaking 6.19, this would have moved Aurora stock to like 7.10 or even like freaking $8. So I mean, this is a huge piece of news, but it just didn't move the stock, so it didn't move the needle. That's what I'm worried about. But you know, and you know, they have Nelson Peltz. I know in the future they will have a deal. I know that, like, eventually Aurora will get some kind of big money injection into the company through some investments, just like Canopy. But you know, that's just me kind of guessing. But I'm you know, but you know, that's what I see. I see the future. Aurora will probably get some big investment. I think Aurora will be the #1 company in the future. If Aurora got a big investment, no questions, Aurora is going to be the #1 company because they're going to be profitable. They're going to have a lot of cash. Canopy, all they have is $4 billion, but then, you know, and their gross margin is going to be bad for a long time because the way they built the company. They didn't build their company to efficiency. They built their company to speed. They could use that money to convert into efficiency, but it's difficult to grow your gross margin, in my opinion. That's something that goes up over time, but Canopy is not focused on that. Canopy is focused on growth, and growth. But Aurora is focused on everything. Aurora is trying to be the perfect company, just like kind of like Steve Jobs with Apple. But yeah, so, and then Aurora has, you know, 3 companies. Australia's Capital, which is doing a pretty good job in the US right now. Zoom, which just you know, wrote a letter to acquire a Florida company. You know, High Tide. High Tide right now doesn't have any US relations, but no, they have a little bit. They do have an online store in the US, but besides that, High Tide doesn't really have a US presence. So, but in the future they could have a US presence. So I don't know. We'll see. If High Tide ever drops to like 40 cents or even like 35 cents, I'll definitely buy back into the stock again. But you know, that's hoping. I don't know if that'll happen. It could happen. Who knows? But yeah, the Aurora is a beast. No questions about it. Aurora has so many tentacles everywhere. You know, and then they have Nelson Peltz, a billionaire that is, you know, working with them. So that's pretty crazy. I honestly believe that if Aurora gets a deal in the future, we will see Aurora with the biggest market cap on the planet. Cannabis company on the planet, if they get a deal. That's what I see in the future. I can't wait for that day to happen. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, it helps my channel grow. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.